Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've actually done a voiceover, so my voice may actually sound a bit
deeper.
Because last time I did a voiceover, I was like 14 and now I'm 15, so cool. Yeah, but if you didn't already see by the title, today I am going to be talking about how I've progressed as an artist, basically. Honestly, that sounds pretty cringy to me, but yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. So, let's just jump right into it. Look how creepy this is. This is my drawing from when I was 3 years old. One of my first drawings. So, that's pretty cool, huh? Let's take a moment to appreciate that, right? So before we get into the good stuff, I want to go ahead and show you a couple of drawings that I made when I was younger, just drawing like for fun in school. So they'll be pretty bad looking. Yeah. How'd you like those? Those were from about 4th grade, I think, and they're actually pretty ugly, but this next one is 7th grade, actually. But it was from the story I made called Warp, and those are all the characters, like the main characters that you meet in the story that I made. So, flash forward a little bit, around 6th and 7th grade, I got this drawing app called Ibis Paint X. I started learning to draw, and that's where my digital art experience was born. So, these next drawings are not going to be on paper, although some of them may be drawn from a drawing based on paper. A couple of them are, but most of them are just digital. Believe me, digital art has been a big part of my getting better as an artist. So, enjoy the next wonderful pieces, although the first few pieces, they're all like in chronological order. So the first couple pieces are going to be pretty bad looking because I was still trying to get used to the app. So you'll see in a little bit. Okay, hear me out. Before you go in and tell me that this is the most disgusting thing you've ever laid eyes on, give me a chance. Listen, I was like 11 when I drew this, and I was drawing with my finger on a tiny iPod touchscreen on Ibis Paint X. So, cut me some slack, guys. Like, that's not terrible. I mean, it is, but like for an 11-year-old drawing with her finger, that is not too bad. But yeah, I actually want to tell the story behind this piece of, dare I say it, art. So, this person represents me, I guess, and during 6th grade, I was going through a rough time. Basically, I had these friends who would often, like, exclude me from their groups. Like, we were, pretty tight. We were, like, best friends, and we were, like, kind of a group of 3. But whenever I did something that they didn't like or something that annoyed them, they would exclude me from their groups, and they would gossip about me. Now, I'm not completely innocent there. I did also gossip with them, so I probably deserved it, but it was still, like, it still really, really, really messed me up. So that picture represents how I felt. Like, those 2 girls represented the friends that I had. And this next picture will also represent that, but in a little bit of a different way. So I'll talk about that as well, but yeah. So this picture kind of more represents the gossipy aspect of what happened to me. The last one was more about them excluding me from like the fun activities that they used to do. But basically this picture represents my friends always talking bad about me and saying like really bad stuff about me. Like, I mean, immature petty stuff, but whenever it got back to me, one person would tell me, "Oh, she said this about you." Then I'd be like, why? And I would always feel betrayed and like really depressed about it, and I'd always cry whenever I talked to my mom about it. Often, I kind of mentioned this before in the text, but often they would make me cry in class because of them telling me I did this, and this, or whatever. It really, really, really messed me up for a long time. Eventually, I, stopped being friends with them. One of them left the school and went to school somewhere else. And one of them is still here to this day, and we, get along, but we're not best friends or anything like that. We're just classmates now. Okay, remember that story that I made earlier called Warp? Well, this is from Warp as well, except I was trying to remake it into like a webcomic, but I was unsure on how to do that, and by the time I figured it out, I was already invested in another story. So at some point I may try to remake this story again, but for now, that's all I got. But this girl is the teacher in the beginning. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's just, it's the art is okay. I think at that time I was either going into 8th grade or was in 8th grade. And, mind you, I was drawing with my finger on an iPod touch screen, so. This next one is a fan art for a webcomic that I like to read, and this is Persephone, the goddess of spring, who is very angry at the moment. This has a similar style to the last one, where there isn't really much line art. At one point I went through this phase where I didn't ever do any line art because I hated the brush that I used for line art, and I didn't really know much about the other ones, so I just kind of skipped the line art. Once I found the brush that I really liked, I was like, oh, I can use this. So I did, and it was way nicer. But yeah, that is Persephone, the goddess of spring. So this is also Persephone, the goddess of spring, only this time she's not only angry, she is absolutely livid. I don't really know why. I didn't really come up with a story, although I do have some ideas why she could be, but I guess you have to read the story to find out. It's called Lore Olympus if you want to read it. Mind you, it is like for older people, like if you don't really know about certain mature situations, you may not want to read it, but it is a pretty good story. I'd recommend it for people 12 or 13 and up. Same art style as before. Yeah. This one is a drawing of my mother and my baby sister, obviously in my own style. The blurred picture was my mom's Facebook profile picture at the time. Of course I blurred it because I doubt she'd want her face on this video. Basically the story is she was seeing how my style digitally has been getting like pretty good, for a 13-year-old. I think I was 13 at this time. And she was like,
hey, you wanna draw me in your style and I'll make it my Facebook profile picture?
And I was like,
sure.
And so I did that, and she was very happy with it. Although, I don't know if you saw, but I kind of wished that I had kept the galaxy background, because that looked pretty nice. But I think the yellow background probably fits with the colors better, like coordinates with the colors better, because, my mom's shirt is purple, the baby's shirt is yellow. Yeah. So this is a thumbnail for the webcomic that I am working on. I will link it in the description if you want to read it. This is no longer the thumbnail, but it was the thumbnail at the time, and I think the hair especially, I really like the hair, and I was very proud of it at the time. Although looking back on it, the proportions are not right at all. The eyes are too small, the lips are way too close to the nose, and the nose, it's just the proportions aren't quite correct. Although eyes are probably smaller than that in realism, but when it comes to my style, as you've probably already seen, I make pretty big eyes. Small eyes like that don't quite look right, but I did draw that on Ibis Paint X with my finger. It's pretty good for drawing with your finger. Sometimes when you use your resources, you can get pretty good at using them, and then you end up becoming a pro at things like drawing with your finger, Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, but it's pretty good. This one is a self-portrait that I did, and I actually posted a shorts YouTube copycat TikTok video of this. It's the same footage, so I'm not even gonna link it in the description but this is the same style as the other one because I made this like soon after I made the thumbnail. So I am still pretty proud of this. Again, the proportions aren't quite right and my body type doesn't quite look like that, but that's okay because I make exaggerated features a lot. This one is also from that story that I am making on Webtoon. I forgot to mention her name. Her name is actually Alana Yorozo, and I just made this picture for fun. I was just trying out different things, and I actually still really like this picture. I think like the shading is pretty good, and I just really like it. So I ended up posting this on Instagram, and I got like maybe 9 likes on it, which is more than I usually get on my photos, but if you want to follow follow me on Instagram, link in the description. Anyway, so I got a bunch of these bot accounts in the comments, and they were like,
Love it! DM us and we'll give you a shout out and you'll get guaranteed followers.
and then I actually did that. I mean, I didn't do the full process, but I DM'd them and to see what they would do. And they're like,
If you give us $5, we'll put you on our story. If you give us $20, we'll make a permanent post. You'll get thousands of followers weekly.
and I'm like, I will pass. I'm not wasting my money on that when I'm pretty sure nobody's going to care anyway. Plus, if I do get any followers, they'll just be bot followers. This one is once again Alana from the story that I'm making, and I did this one because I wanted to see what she would look like with short hair, because I was kind of considering making her hair short later in the story, like she cuts it or whatever, but I decided, nah, her hair is just too long and silky to cut it, so I changed my mind, and I am sure glad I did. Her hair is just beautiful the way it is, Picture's okay, same style as before, I suppose, but I don't like it as much as the other picture. Alright, pause everyone, pause. This is a big, important milestone. So, my mom was like, I should get an iPad. And I was like, great idea! And, super supportive about it, because I've wanted an iPad for a while, but it is really expensive, and she got an iPad, she got the Apple Pencil, and, we got Procreate. That's when things get real interesting. Hehe. Alright, so this is not my first drawing, but one of my first drawings that I did on Procreate. And this one is inspired by the art style of Likelihood Art. If you don't know who that is, basically she's a YouTuber who has a very nice style. And the brushes I used on this are mainly Jing Sketch Basics. It's a really, really, really good brush pack that you can download on Procreate, and I really, really like it. So, yeah, that's what that is. But I really like how this turned out. I think it's really, really good, especially considering I kind of just got Procreate. But I did kind of use a reference in that one video where she tells how she uses Procreate. So when I use references, I find that my drawings are a lot better usually. I don't always like using references, but I have found that using references help a lot. I highly recommend you check out her channel, and I also highly recommend use references when you are drawing, whether you're on Procreate, IBIS Paint X, whatever. So, this one is, I don't even know. I was just messing around with this one. I mean, obviously it's a different style and a different way I shaded it, because, I don't know, I just wanted to try out different styles and see which one I liked the best. And I actually kind of like this picture, but I like the way I shaded it, and it kind of has a similar style to Rachel Smeeth, which is the author of Lore Olympus, the book that I was talking about earlier. And actually, I think this is meant to be, I think in my head I was thinking about this being like Persephone, but in her mortal form, because sometimes the gods in the story change into their mortal form, although the story has not showed us what Persephone looks like in her mortal form yet, so I don't know if they ever will, but I'd love to see that. I think she'd be really pretty. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. So I did this one because I wanted to do something without line art and make it appear more realistic, because like in real life we don't have line art on our skin. You don't see black outlines on our skin. We just have a lot of lighting. You can tell like what's farther away and what's close enough. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but we don't have line art in real life, so I wanted to try something a little bit more realistic, I guess. So I made like this mermaid siren thing. I don't know. And I like how it turned out, but I kind of ruined it when I added like hair to it. I think it looks kind of bad now, but oh well. But yeah, I kind of like that one. I think it's okay. It doesn't really look realistic, but I just wanted to try a non-line art thing. I do like how the skin turned out, how it's like all shiny and stuff, because I love mermaids. I don't have an obsession for mermaids, but I've always loved drawing them, and I used to make stories about them when I was younger, but you know, I still like to draw them sometimes. I made a drawing of Alana as a siren recently, and by Alana I mean the character in my story. Okay, I'm done now. This one is the same style as before, but I like it way less. Although I do like the background that I made, which you'll be seeing in a little bit. I really don't have anything to say about this. I guess enjoy the music. So this one is based on a drawing that I drew in school. Does drew make sense? I have drawn. We'll say that just in case that was bad grammar, but I've already pointed out some grammar mistakes myself in other times in this video, but I just didn't worry about it because it's not really that important. Grammar is kind of an important thing to me. But as you can see, this style of shading is very different from what I usually do. I wanted to do a more cartoonish, like simplistic style of shading, so I did minimal highlights and minimal shadows, and I didn't really like how it turned out. I actually kind of prefer the drawing that I have on pencil, but that's okay. This one I also made in class. It's a pretty ballerina. This style is more watercolory, as you'll see when I start coloring it. I wanted to try again. I've been trying out like different brushes on Procreate. Now this is all like, this was made way after. This was made like soon after school started, so I got the iPad back in the summer, so it's been a few months, and I've been using Procreate for a few months, so it's these drawings have a little bit of a span, a little bit of a time span in between them. I don't just pop out drawings every few days. I mean, lately I've been kind of creative, but I've been more focused on my comic rather than just illustrations, but even then I just get a lot of art block, and it's hard to draw when you're not interested in drawing. I mean, we all deal with it. Everyone who has tried to draw something and just didn't feel like it, that's art block. It sucks, but you just gotta wait it out a little bit and then you're ready to do it again, even though it may be after the deadline. But I don't really have a deadline because I'm still this isn't a job for me. This is more of just a lifestyle, I guess, this YouTube thing. I mean, I suppose if you guys subscribe, maybe it could become a job for me, but at the moment I have 56 subscribers and that doesn't get me money. But you know, maybe one day I can actually get money from this, but it's gonna be a while. So this one is another thumbnail for my story. Obviously this is Alana, and one side is her crazy side and one side is her normal side. I don't really know what to say about it, but yeah, there you go. So this one is a Christmas one that I did with Alana Urozo and her friend Kaysen. Basically, she's giving him a present, and it's just Alana dressed up as Mrs. Claus or Santa or whatever you want to call it, and then Kaysen dressed up as an elf. I don't really care for this one. It's okay. The chin is very far out. Kaysen's chin is very pointy and very far out, not quite proportionally correct. I would have pushed that in a lot more, but actually this is quite recent. I made this just last Christmas. So just a few months ago I made this, and I'm already roasting it. Well, it's not really roasting, but looking down on it, I suppose, because I have gotten better at art since then, and you will see in these next few drawings, you'll see that I've gotten better. We're getting near the end, guys. We're almost done. So I was just in my sister's room, and I just happened to get inspired when I was on Pinterest, and I decided to do like a picture based on a reference. Yes, this one I got a reference from, and it looks pretty good. It's basically some girl in her pajamas or something. I don't know. Yeah, if you hear background noise, that's because someone's watching Mulan on very high volume. So if you hear, why is my reflection something I don't know, or something like that, that's why. Okay, so I'm just shading now. I don't really know what to say, but I don't want to just leave you with music, although you'd probably rather listen to music than my voice. I'm disgraceful. So this one I originally got from a reference on Instagram, basically someone's OC that they posted, and I was gonna like redraw it in my style. As you can see, the proportions on it are very whack looking, and I just could not get it right, and those claws that I made for hands, I just hated, and I hated the legs, and I hated the torso, and I hated everything about it. and I left it for a long time because I didn't know what to do with it. But then I decided to ditch the body and stick with the head, which I still don't really like the shape of the head. It doesn't quite work. Maybe the cranium's not big enough. I'm not sure. I'm not great with proportions at the moment, but I'm getting better. Anyway, I made this my profile picture on my second channel, and this is the little face you'll see in the corner in every video of mine. So you probably see it in the corner now. Okay, so this one is a very recent one that I made just a couple weeks ago. So I really wanted to draw a new profile picture for myself on my Instagram page, and I really wanted to make a picture of me holding the Apple Pencil because that's what I use to draw on the iPad, obviously. And so I looked up a reference on Pinterest and I copied the hand, and I'm very proud of it actually. I think it turned out really well, really good. Not good grammar. So I really like this picture. I'm very proud of it. I wish I didn't make the shadows so dark. Like, I feel like it looks like I put on way too much makeup in the foundation area and I put on way too much contour and highlight. Like, I'm not quite digging the shadow color that I gave it, but maybe it could be more muted. I'm not sure, but that's okay. I think my favorite part about it, other than the hand, is probably the hair, because I think it really captures the Jing Sketch texture. I think I could do it better, and my latest picture that will be coming next, I mean, it's not really my latest anymore, but at the time it was. It has more of a Jing Sketch texture to it. So, yeah. So this is the final picture that I will be showing you in this video. But if you go over to my Instagram, you will be able to see 2 more pictures that I did not show you. And those are some very recent pictures that I did as of May 21st, 2022. Of course, by the time I publish this video, it'll probably be much later. But I found this sketch reference on Pinterest, and I really liked it. I thought it was really cute looking, and I really wanted to make Alana and Kason in this picture, so I did. So this is what I came up with. I didn't trace the sketch thing that I found, I just copied it, so it's not perfect, but I'd say it's close enough. So yeah, that's just Alana being carried by Kason. Just a cute little couple thing, although they're not really a couple, but it's a ship that I kind of want to set sail. Let's just say that.
Love is what I need.
Alright guys, so that is all the art that I'm showing you in this video. I want to know, what do you guys think of this transformation or journey or evolution of my art style? I'm very curious. Do you think that the transformation is good, or do you think that it is not great, or do you think that it's amazing for my age? Because this all kind of started, I did show you a couple pictures from before, from 4th grade, and one from like 7th grade, but all the digital pictures started from when I was in 6th grade. So this is all my progress from 6th to 9th grade. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's good? Do you think it sucks? What do you think? With that being said, I am done now. This took a pretty long time to make. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and liked this video and, I don't know, share it or something. I mean, all that stuff sounds cringy, but like, it really does help. And I have been getting more subscribers recently than before, but I don't know if that's from my older videos because I made a couple of Nestle Crunch videos that are exploding, sort of. They're like my only popular videos, but I want to try to get my newer videos more popular, so I'm trying to try harder. If you appreciated this video, please subscribe, please give it a like, and I will see you guys in my next one. Goodbye.